Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to playing Ultimate Alliance 3 as intended. Now, as we went over last time, there is a lot that goes into this type of a challenge. So before we go over there and talk to Nick Fury, let's go ahead and make the adjustments to the team that we need to do, and then give you a brief refresher if you're just jumping in for the first time. I would recommend watching the previous installments in the series because the rules will be flushed out a lot better there. But if you're here for the first time, then welcome. I'm happy to have you. So let's go ahead and make adjustments to our team to reflect what we saw in the last cutscene. Now, Miss Marvel and Crystal were not present in the previous cutscene, so they will need to be rotated out. Venom and Spider-Man can stay. They were there. And of the characters that we have to choose from, I'm going to choose to add Luke Cage as well as Gamora to our team. I have a feeling that Gamora is going to be in a lot of these cutscenes, so having her in the rotation more often than not is definitely a good route to go by. But I generally like the team that we have built up here. So let's go ahead and talk to Nick Fury, skip through his dialogue, and then get into the next section, which does not have a cutscene. It's actually one of the few areas that does not have a cutscene that introduces us to it, which I find a little bit interesting. Now, the next cutscene that we are going to see is going to be an unskippable cutscene, which doesn't really designate the type of challenge that we're going for. So we're going to have to pay very, very close attention to the cutscene after that, which is when Iron Fist gets introduced to us. So that will certainly be quite a bit of fun to focus on and try and determine what team members we are going to be able to use per the self-imposed restraints of this challenge. So let's let Luke Cage carry us into this next section here. We're not going to stop and talk to Jessica Jones because it really doesn't net us anything beneficial in this instance. So let's come up here to the Hand Mystics.
Oh, did I mention that the ancient ninja temple is guarded by actual ninjas?
And if we make our way through these guys by combating into them, that should do relatively good things for us here. Ooh, Luke Cage punching him all the way over the edge. And the nice little chain whip there from Luke Cage, going to finish those guys off as well. Now, again, I don't think Luke Cage really sticks around a whole lot in the overarching story of the game, but he is definitely a good area denial type character starting off. Ooh, that was a lot of really good damage being dealt there to all members of the team, or the opponents, I should say, that we're coming out against here. And let's go ahead and make our way down. I don't have access to anyone who can move faster at this point, so we've just got to keep things very close to the chest here as we make our way through these searchlights sweeping across the rooftops here. But all things considered, it's not that difficult of a puzzle. I might have to backtrack a little speedily here. Ooh, we just barely got through that. That was really tight. But I was very happy that we were able to do that, even though it means that we now end up waiting quite a bit more. And I find it interesting that we don't end up setting off the searchlight by throwing that barrel there. That's kind of interesting to me as well. Let's make our way down around here. This will bring us to the unskippable cutscene, which really doesn't do anything in terms of showing us who is here and who is a playable character, because really Jessica just walks up, she punches the crane, and then by the time we zoom back out, we have a full view of the characters that we had from before. So again, really doesn't make that big of a difference. We'll combat against some of the opponents here just to make sure that we can pad the leveling of our team.
I hate to ditch, but I just got an emergency call from a client who pays a lot more than you. Get inside and meet up with the defenders.
Okay, there's that last punch there. And if we finish this guy off with a couple of chain strikes, that should be about all we need. Let's hug to this shoulder very tightly. And then that will send you over the edge. Oh, nice action from Spider-Man throwing the other opponent over the edge there. I do kind of wish sometimes that there was a grapple mechanic. I think that that would be kind of cool. Okay, you've got to go down here. And that's a series of nice rapid-fire blows to get rid of that last opponent. Now, let's have an eye on this cutscene, because we will need to add Iron Fist to the team as soon as we have him per the parameters of this, because he is right there. But I don't know if we get any other characters introduced to us in the cutscene itself. If we do, it should be right about here that is outlined to us. Nothing over the shoulders there. Yeah, nothing back over his shoulder, so we don't have any other clarity. Which in instances like this, where there's no further clarification as to the characters, we must make room for whatever characters are highlighted per that cutscene. So let's go ahead and make our way through this so we can unlock Iron Fist and thus add him to our team per the requirements we have set up here. That takes out those guys. Ooh, that didn't quite take you out. That's unfortunate for you. Let's get these couple of final strikes here. And a few more punches and uppercut there. Luke Cage gaining an extra level. Always good to see. And as the bodies fly around, still only have access to one singular attack with Luke. Venom putting in some good work there. Always happy to see that. And let's go ahead and finish out those guys. We've just about got the final wave of opponents in here. We've just got to take out that last guy, and that'll summon in the heavier wave of 4 mighty enemies here. Ooh, that was a nice little flurry of finishing strikes there. And if we can just finish that out against these ones. Ooh, Danny doing some nice dragon-related strikes there. And we'll stagger this guy out before he can pull out his bomb and his blast. So let's go ahead and switch Venom off the team here. I honestly don't think that there's a whole lot more that we see him in over the course of the cutscenes throughout the remainder of the game. But since we have Iron Fist available to us, we now need to place him on the team as per the previous cutscene. So all the way over here, Iron Fist has now been added to the team, and now the highest level member of the team with access to 2 abilities as opposed to 3. Or 1. We'll get 3 later on down the road. But for now, we've got ourselves a temple puzzle before we have Daredevil introduced to us. And Daredevil is going to be in a very similar situation to Iron Fist, I think, where we don't get introduced to other members of our availability in the cutscenes that we experience him with. So there is the final statue. We'll now make our way down. I don't know if that's indeed faster, but it feels faster with characters that don't teleport, so we're going to go ahead and do it. And there we go. Ooh. Nice work there from Iron Fist. And now we're going to run into Daredevil here briefly. Ooh. I didn't get pushed back from that. That's interesting. I really don't like these opponents when they send their bombs hurtling at you from a distance. It makes the whole encounter a little less enjoyable. I think that's all of them. So let's now make our way past these opponents and into the next section where Daredevil is going to walk us through this. I don't think that anyone else is introduced in this cutscene, but we are going to watch it just to be absolutely sure. Here comes Daredevil's really awesome showcase. I like the way that this is animated a lot. It's very cinematic and quite striking. There's his radar sense, but there is no other members of the team or the alliance that are introduced to us as a part of that.
You're welcome.
Which that would have been really cool if... Oh, there is. So we have Spider-Man, Miss Marvel, Luke Cage, and Iron Man. Those are the 4 characters, I guess 5 including Daredevil. So we are going to rotate Spider-Man out of that, and we will have to place Miss Marvel in the group as well. So we've just got to remember that as we come back to it.
But watch your step.
So who else is getting rotated off our team here? It's going to be Gamora. That's who the other one that we'll need to get rid of is.
Your safest bet is to let me or another teammate who can detect danger lead the way.
There we go. And that's kind of interesting that that pairs in well with what we saw in the cutscene before. Another teammate that can detect danger. That's very much Spider-Man in these settings. So having him present in the previous cutscene I actually like quite a bit. We need to get out here towards the edge so we can... Gamora can lift that? I thought that was a strong objective. But apparently not. Ooh, that blasted. And Luke Cage has a lot of resistance to some of these trickier spots here. Ooh, that was really good there. Is that going to put you in your death animation? It does, but we can get you out of it before you have a chance to fully retaliate against me. Let's get rid of you, so you stop throwing your bombs around the battlefield. Ooh, there we go. We should just about be out of these guys. Iron Fist doing some good work there. Finishing him off. Ooh, get that. There we go. Spider-Man going up to level 10 now as well, which is good for all intents of what we're going for. Luke Cage going up to level 10 as well. So some really nice progress there. And now let's go ahead and make that team adjustment per the previous cutscene that we had. So we have to get rid of Spider-Man, or we're going to get rid of Spider-Man. He could stay if we really wanted him to. And then let's get rid of Gamora, bring back Miss Marvel. All members at level 10, so that's actually quite nice to have moving into the fight with Elektra. So let's go ahead and do just that. Now, I don't believe that we get an indication from this cutscene, but we're now at the point where we should be watching them to be absolutely sure that we have all of our bases covered as we seek to tabulate that. So, let's see. The other tricky thing here is I don't know at what point we get access to go through those rifts, but I really don't want to grind out the rifts, especially because Elektra is not going to be around for a very long time. She's widely absent from a lot of the story quest because she's just kind of a teaser of characters that you can acquire at a later date and time. Still really nice to see, though. And here comes the fight that I wasn't necessarily looking forward to, but we get to do. It's one of my less favorite fights to execute because just how it's designed. With how aggressive Electra tends to get when chasing you down as you go after the Hand Mystics. I mean, what else would you really expect? Ooh, let's get away from that. Ooh, that was a nice blast there. Ooh, that was really good. Except for the staggering didn't really do anything for us against Electra. And I'm pretty sure that she rehashes that. Yeah, it looks like it's slowly regenerating. Come on, get around that. Let's get a nice strike in there. Can I get any synergies? I cannot. Ooh, get through this. Ooh, we staggered out Electra here. I don't know that I've ever done that. And it does look like she does take some damage when she's in that state. But it's very quickly walked back. Because it's not the intention for you to deal damage to her in this phase of the fight. Just get out of the way, Mystic. There we go. Now here comes Gamora, or not Electra. Not Gamora, but Electra. And she actually gets healed up there, which is interesting as well. Alright, let's get through you. Come on. Get away from the lethal ballet there. I'm going to walk back this way so she can get more in towards the fray. And I didn't get a synergy out there, which is kind of unfortunate. But next time we should hopefully be able to get something to that nature. There we go. And now we can do our extreme attacks to get a lot of damage in there. Kamala really pulling her weight with that extreme attack right on top of Gamora. Very, very happy about that. So let's keep an eye on this cutscene. Again, Electra, if you wanted to go through the trouble of unlocking here, if you're even able to do that this early on, would be kind of fun to have in our rotation. But I don't know if we have any other characters that show up in this cutscene. We do. We have Spider-Man, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. So we now need to rotate Spider-Man onto the team in lieu of Kamala, even though I'm quite happy with how well she contributed to this as well. So let's go ahead and hero select, and let's make that adjustment. And on we go into the next section of this. Really like the weight that Luke has been pulling here. And then we'll have to keep an eye on this Bullseye fight. Because Bullseye, I'm pretty sure, has a lot of weight to carry in terms of his cutscene that introduces him. Come on, get through you. Ooh, that was really nice, getting through. Oh, really? That second hit doesn't count when it breaks down that, that's upsetting. Yeah, well, we figured that out, Iron Fist, thank you.
Some fresh air.
Alright, there, through that. And now on to a couple more opponents that are going to get summoned in here. If I walk them down this way, that should take care of most of them. And then if we come up this way, the rest of the team should follow suit. Of course, Daredevil gets a little left behind there, which is just kind of poetically humorous. we go. That does quite well that way, and that's all we had. So let's now keep an eye on this cutscene and see who we'll have to put on the team after this fight is completed. Because technically there is another cutscene at the end once Bullseye has been finished, but I think it's just his dismissal. So we have Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Daredevil, and Elektra, which again, I don't have access to her at this point. So I really don't have a whole lot of options of what I'm able to do. But we'll have to see if we get any other characters introduced to us at the end of this fight as well.
Because anyone who would know is dead. I'm
All
right
right.
at home here in the Kingpin's little museum. After all, I make killing an art.
Ooh, that was really good. And that should very quickly take us into the second phase of this fight. And this is more of a transition between fights, so this is not a cutscene because we're just going to see whatever team we have equipped right now. And let's run right back into it. That goes up, huh? I thought that was always ground level. You definitely missed a couple of those. Oh, of course you run away, coward. Ooh, we need to get away from that. And of course he runs away yet again. I need to stop initiating those heavy attacks right as he jumps down there. Oh, and he's regaining his stagger, which we really don't want him to do, especially as he runs away. Get the Harlem Express out there. That didn't stagger you? That's upsetting. And now he's regaining his stagger gauge yet again. Oh, you just had to do that, didn't you? Ooh, that was a good solid hit. But it should have done more than that. Come on. Get him. Thank you. There we go. Nice finishing touch there. And is there any other indication of who's on our team here? I really don't think there is. I think he just bails backwards out the window. Yeah, he just bails out the window. Does not give us anything constructive to go off of there. Let's now go ahead and make our way into the next room, but we don't get another cutscene until the pre-Kingpin fight, which I'm pretty sure is trumped in terms of the team that we would need to use by the post-Kingpin fight. So we'll go ahead and we'll get that once we get to that point, really. But first we got to make our way through this section of the fight. And normally I like skipping through this, but it's beneficial for us to continue grinding levels onto the member of our team. Let's go ahead. There we go. And should be able to make a healthy dose of damage in against these guys. Nice set of work there. That's all of them out of the way. And while we spawn in the next opponents here, I'm going to leave my team to deal with the guys on the ground, because I really don't want to continue to deal with the ninjas from a distance that will continue to throw bombs down on top of my head. I would like to get them out of the way as quickly as possible. Thank you, and goodbye. Now let's do more of the same here. Daredevil putting in some really good work there. Ooh, a lot of the mighty enemies hanging out down here. Ooh, that was good. And if we hit it again... Alright, let's go ahead and give Luke Cage a bit of a break here while we bring Iron Fist in, and we didn't quite get through. Key Blast, there we go. And that's the rest of them. We're going to get healed up before we go into the next section here. And we can actually heal up right here by grabbing this
That's much better feng shui.
full energy restore. And I'm pretty sure we can just take a progressive leap down this hallway with this ability. Yes! That was quite good, actually. And if I
do my best fighting in hallways.
continue to barrel down the hallway here.
Not ones I can kick straight through.
Ooh, that was quite nice. Handily taking out all of those opponents here. Now let's go on to the elevator and see where we end up. I could make adjustments to the team right here, but based off the last cutscene, I am up to date. So let's make a note of who we can have on our team with this cutscene. And it's more of what we saw before, so our team is about as good as we could have it. And we'll have to see how that alters with the cutscenes that happen after this as well. Very heavy breathing taking place here from Kingpin. But I don't need to sit through the remainder of this cutscene because we can't make adjustments to the team beyond what we have at this point. Ooh, I don't know that I've ever got hit by that chair, but there's a first time for everything. Let's get away from Kingpin there. Ooh, that was not what I wanted there from Danny. Key Blast. Key Blast again. There we go. There we are. That's really what I wanted to see. Ooh, that was a really good strike there. Not quite enough to take him out outright, but we are getting closer. And a backward striking Key Blast from the Kingpin's vulnerable side should give us the edge that we need in order to transition to the second phase of this fight.
If you won't bow to my demands, I'm afraid you're in for a very hostile takeover.
And let's be careful there as Kingpin continues to layer in his onslaught. We're going to switch Danny back over to Luke Cage here. Ooh, that's a hard hit. But we can get away from him there. That was a really weird arc that you had. Ooh, get away from that. Come on. And let's get a series of extreme attacks out here. And then the Harlem Express should finish that out. And just as he was about to recover, Spider-Man gets the last blow. So let's go ahead and keep an eye on this cutscene because we've got this one. I actually think we've got a couple of cutscenes back to back. So we've got Daredevil right off the bat. We've got Star-Lord making an appearance. Daredevil's still over there.
If you don't want it, Quill.
And Rocket making an appearance as well. So that's 3. but we might have a couple more that we have to choose from. Of course, there's Loki, which we really don't have access to him at this point. I think you could maybe do Infinity Rifts to get Gamora, or not Gamora. Why do I keep saying Gamora? Elektra at this point. So let's go ahead and talk with Jessica. That's going to trigger our next cutscene, which technically gives us a heightened priority for Spider-Gwen, Miss Marvel, and Miles Morales here. So I would honestly probably choose Daredevil alongside these three if I had to. Iron Man actually makes an appearance here as well, so that would take precedent over Daredevil.
I can barely do my own laundry.
Here... Yep, here comes Iron Man there. And I think he's present in the next cutscene that we're going to have a look at as well.
Does that mean we're...
Sure. At least for today. Go ahead. Say it. You know you want to.
This is kind of a fun little moment.
Avengers assemble, baby!
You are such a nerd.
And you can tell that Miles got his qualms about that. Let's have an eye on the characters that we really have to work with through this cutscene. There's Iron Man again in the rotation of characters that we would have access to. Vision makes an appearance, but he's not playable at all. So we'll just have to keep an eye on any other characters that make an appearance here.
Can I keep him?
I don't know if there's anyone else that pops up in this cutscene, if I'm being completely honest. But really what this does is it gives us an idea of where we're going to start off next week when we get back to this. And I don't know that anyone else makes an appearance. Cool. Well, that sets that precedent of what we need to do. So we are going to start off next week with Miles Morales, Miss Marvel, Spider-Gwen, and Iron Man in our rotation. But I want to thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more daily variety content, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.